Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Nila and I'm really glad you're here today. I wanted to talk about a topic that is pretty personal to me, something that I have been kind of struggling with and growing through for years now. And I just wanted to make the video to hopefully encourage some of you and tell you a little bit about my story and kind of the progression that I've made throughout my last 10 years or so. So the topic, obviously, if you read the title, is acne and kind of just my skin journey and talking about what my skin means to me and all of the kind of emotional struggles I've gone through to try to accept my, oh, that was my kitten, try to kind of get to a place where I'm accepting and loving of the skin I am in. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that, please keep on watching. Okay, so first I want to tell you a little bit about my background with acne and my skin. So my skin was fine. It was perfect. I didn't have any blemishes or scars or any problems until 8th grade, actually. It was well, the summer right before 8th grade is when I hit my first and only bout of puberty. Within a couple months, I started growing hair on my legs and under my arms, and I grew taller. I developed a little bit, and I started breaking out. So that was the first time that I had ever had a zit, and it hit me pretty hard. I had a lot of, especially little ones on my forehead. I had bigger ones, smaller ones, and since then I've gone through periods of time. I have a lot of hormonal acne, so I've gone through, a couple days, weeks, whatever, when my skin, I don't have any necessarily active breakouts, but I have some scarring, some hyperpigmentation, definitely some sensitivity, and then as you can see right now, I still go through pretty big breakouts, which isn't fun, but just how it is. And I've been to different dermatologists, and I've had different, tried different topical creams, and I have some other medical issues that, and I take some other medications that don't allow me to take certain prescriptions. So, I haven't necessarily tried all of the, I haven't tried Accutane or anything like that, but I have seen a doctor about it, and it's just something that I don't necessarily feel like I need to actively treat all the time anymore, because it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. But when I was young, it bothered me a lot. I felt so embarrassed, and that's really when I started wearing makeup, is when I started getting acne, because I wanted to cover it up. I started using concealer and foundation, and pretty much every day in middle school and high school I felt like I had to wear foundation or I looked kind of ugly because I had a bunch of little red splotchy marks all over my face. And it was never so awful, like it wasn't cystic, or it wasn't anything like horrifying. This is kind of pretty, well, this is a little better than average. Usually on my cheeks and on my chin, my nose, I have a lot of blackheads. My forehead's been fairly clear, other than just some little bumps, but that's kind of the background on that. I felt so, I don't want to say I felt ugly, because I didn't necessarily feel like I was hideous or anything like that, but I was really embarrassed about my skin and what my face looked like and my acne, and I just didn't feel very comfortable going out without any makeup on, and I didn't always do my makeup in the most beautiful way, and I still don't now. I'm not an expert or anything. I mean, I like doing it for fun, but in the past year or so, I've really kind of worked on, that's my dog, a lot of animal interruptions today, but I've really worked on trying to be more comfortable with my skin and go out without makeup. So, and I'm 23 now, so I think when I was 13 is when I kind of hit puberty and started suffering from acne. So it's been about 10 years now that I've been wearing makeup and struggling with acne. So now I want to kind of go into some things I did to help me become more confident in my skin, or even if I'm not as confident in my skin, like right now I had a little bit of hesitation not wearing makeup to work just because I'm really breaking out today, and it's just sometimes I feel embarrassed and like it's not very professional, or it's not very it makes me look a lot younger than I am, or something like that. So I'm not going to say that I'm totally perfect and fine about it all the time, because I'm not at all, but I have gotten a lot better, and so I want to share some tips I've had with you and some kind of revelations that I've done and some steps that I've taken to be able to be more comfortable without makeup on, and not care as much if I have a breakout, or my skin isn't looking great one day. So really the first thing I started doing was looking up videos and Pinterest pins, or kind of inspiration, or just words of advice or wisdom from other people who had struggled with acne, because I think a lot of times we see all these images on social media or on the internet or in magazines, or what have you, and all these people have beautiful, wonderful skin, and so we kind of start to think that we are outside of the norm, in that we have problem skin. And that's just not the case at all. Most people suffer from acne at some point in their lives, and a lot of adults and kids and teens. It doesn't necessarily stop when you come out of puberty, and it doesn't necessarily wait until you're 16. It kind of can hit you at any time. So really, looking for others who had gone through similar journeys and had similar thoughts was really inspiring to me, because it made me realize that I wasn't alone with kind of having problem skin, and that I didn't need to be ashamed or embarrassed, because it was totally normal, and that's okay. And then the second thing I did was start practicing in small ways how not to wear, not how not to, but practicing in less stressful situations, not wearing makeup. So if I was lounging at home, when I was younger, I used to put on makeup every day, no matter what I was doing, no matter what I was going to be, who I was going to be seeing, anything like that. So I started slowly practicing, not wearing makeup until noon on a Saturday, or when I was with my family, not necessarily wearing makeup, or just going a few hours without it. And maybe to some of you that sounds extreme, but for me it was really a security blanket, the foundation, and I would pretty much wear it thick all over my face. And so not doing that was a step towards me being more comfortable in my own skin. And then I kind of started working my way up to bigger events, or I remember one of the big turning points was when I went to church for the first time without makeup. And a couple of people commented like, "Oh, you're not wearing makeup," but I didn't get any negative comments or anything like that. But I guess it was just kind of it was a big deal for me to do that, because I had never seen any of those people without makeup on, and so it was definitely a big step. And another one was going to work without makeup for the first time, especially with my shaved head. Sometimes makeup can make me feel a little bit more feminine, and so going without it can occasionally make me feel a little bit masculine or not as beautiful. And so having a shaved head and wearing no makeup was definitely something that I struggled with a little bit at first, but now I don't wear makeup to work most of the time, and not because I'm trying to make a statement or anything, but because it takes time to do makeup, and by the time I get up and get ready and try to get out the door, I don't want to get up earlier to do my makeup, even if it's just a few minutes. I know you can do makeup quickly, but it seems like not worth it to me to go to work, because I am trying to impress people in that it is, a professional environment, but just because I'm not wearing makeup or I don't have perfect skin doesn't mean that I can't let my personality shine through and, talk to people and communicate with people in a positive way. And I've kind of realized that I don't have to be embarrassed by it, because it's not something that really means anything, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean that I don't take care of myself, and it doesn't have to mean that you're unhealthy, or that you are gross, or you don't wash your face, because I feel like a lot of times people with acne actually take much better care of their skin than people who have perfect skin. I have a skincare regimen, and I really try to wash and cleanse and tone and use more natural products and things like that. So really gradually taking steps to allow myself to be more and more comfortable without wearing makeup with acne has been helpful a lot. And then I guess the biggest thing is really just kind of trying to come to terms with the fact that I want to be okay with my appearance as I naturally am, and not rely on any kind of products or marketing to make myself feel beautiful, because I am a beautiful person, and you don't need to look at my face or what I'm wearing, or even you know, any outward thing. It doesn't define who I am, and that doesn't make me beautiful or not beautiful, because really when I think about the people that I know and love, I don't really notice if they're not wearing makeup, or if they're wearing sweatpants or a dress or a suit or whatever. I mean, those things are fun and great, but you don't need them to be beautiful. You can look like royalty just wearing sweatpants and your hair in a bun or whatever. And so I guess really I'm just trying to say that I have tried to kind of retrain my brain to not equate acne with ugliness, but instead to equate my beauty with my inner self as opposed to my outward appearance. So that is really all I have to say for right now about my acne journey and my struggles, and kind of how I've become more confident in my skin. I'm not going to say, like I said, that every day is perfect, or that I feel great all the time about my skin, because that's just not true, and I'm not sure that it'll ever be true. But the fact that I can go days and days without covering my skin with heavy makeup, and you know, if you're still at that point, that's okay. You know, everyone has their own journey, but for me, coming to this point where I can go days without wearing makeup and not really bat an eye, that's such big improvement to where I was when I was in middle school and high school, and even most of college. I really want to be comfortable with myself as I am, and I hope that if you're struggling with acne, and I know how hard it can be to look in the mirror and feel like you have all these little intruders on your face, and how it seems like no matter what you do, it won't go away. You go to doctors and you try all these products and it just doesn't work. And I've been there, and I know how frustrating it can be. So if you're out there and you're struggling with acne, just know that whether you have clear skin or not, you are still beautiful. And just because society is trying to tell you that you need to cover it up or make it go away or treat it, doesn't mean that you have to, and that you can come to terms with what you look like naturally, and you can work on it. And wherever you are and whatever point you are at in that process is okay, and I am here for you, and I hope that this has helped you, or at least given you a glimpse into my life and kind of how I've dealt with that. And even if you don't, this hasn't spoken to you in a big way or given you some revelation, maybe just seeing someone else who has a little bit of acne and isn't afraid to put their bare face on the internet might just help you normalize it within your own mind. So thank you all so much for watching, and for leaving the comments that you've been leaving. I really love reading them and interacting with some of you, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.